And welcome to the next video on Football Index. Today we're going to look at placing our first trade. You firstly need to decide whether you want to buy players to earn dividends or whether you want to buy a player in a hope that the value will change dramatically and increase your profits. The benefits of buying players who have high dividends mean that you are always earning money from these players. This will automatically be put into your dividend account over here, and you can withdraw this or buy new players with it. You may also wish to buy lower priced players in the hope that a big club buys them or they start playing well and get an international call up. This will mean their price rises quite dramatically. An example of this is Dembele, who plays for Celtic. As you can see here, Moussa Dembele started off at £1.60. His price increased as he enjoyed some good form, but then dipped shortly after due to injury. As he's now back playing and there is talk of him going to Everton or West Ham amongst other clubs, his value has started to rise once again. If you would have bought him down here at around about £1.29 and sold him now at £1.88, you would have made a tidy profit. Please note you can only buy 100 shares in a player per transaction. The graphs are a great way to see how the player's value has changed over time, and you can shorten this down to even 3 months or 7 days, depending on how quickly you want to see the players change. The next example we'll look at is Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere, over the last 7 days since his return to the Arsenal side, has risen quite dramatically from £1.58 to what he stands at today, £1.87. That shows roughly around about a 15% gain on what he was 7 days ago. If you go back to 3 months or even 6 months ago, you will see that his price has risen. Another useful fact about the graphs is the candlesticks that you'll see here. This is the difference between the highest price and the lowest price on any day, with the green line representing the average. As you scroll over them, you will see the highest price of that day was £1.82, the lowest was £1.70 with an average of £1.77. You will also see buzz news for each player. This shows how many times they've been mentioned, and as you can see here, Dembele has been mentioned twice today, earning 100 points. This will then translate into the live rankings where you'll be able to see where he lies today, which is here with 100 points. He would not be currently winning the buzz today, but as we said before, if you are after buzz winnings, you may have to buy players which are higher in value. Now let's look at buying a player. To buy a player, you will firstly have to deposit money into your account, which will then be shown in your balance. You can then search for a player that you'd like to buy. There are several ways in which you can buy a player. You can firstly go to the top 200 and sort them. For example, by lowest price, highest price, those that have decreased or increased today. You can also go to squad players. These are players that aren't high in value, but there may be more movement in terms of profits. They may not get as many dividends for you, but will not cost as much in the first place. Due to his recent good form and sitting atop of the championship, I will be looking at Diogo Jota, who is on loan at Wolverhampton Wanderers from Atletico Madrid. I would simply type his name up here, hoping he is on the exchange as not all the players are yet, and select him. I would then select Diogo Jota and I'd be able to see the price that he's been on the exchange. As you can see, he was recently added and his price was 50p when he first came. He has risen to 78p but has now dropped back to 70p as the market has adjusted. There is no buzz news for him, but there may be if Wolverhampton Wanderers decide to put an offer in and make him a permanent player. You'll also see there is not a prospectus, as these tend to be for their higher value players and more popular. If I wanted to buy Diogo Jota, I would click buy on the 70p and I could either click buy max, buy one share, or select the number of shares that I wish to buy. You can only buy 100 shares, or as Football Index call it, futures, in a player in any one transaction. There is nothing stopping you, however, going back on and buying another 100 shares in the player. Simply select the number of shares you wish to buy. As I've only got £10 in my balance, I will buy max. This will tell you the price you're getting, the number of shares you're buying, and your balance remaining. Confirm buy. It will now show you that it's been added to your portfolio and give you a little welcome message. You can then simply go back to your portfolio at the top, and as you can see there, Diogo Jota, I have 14 futures in the player. That cost me 70 pence, which means I outlaid £9.80, and this is the current value. And as I've only just bought them, they haven't changed at all, meaning that I've got zero profit. If I wish to sell the player now, I would only be able to sell him for 66 pence, which is where Football Index start to make some of their profit. I am now hopeful that Diogo Jota will get a permanent transfer to Wolves, or that his market value will continue to rise as his performances on the pitch get better. If Wolves do get promoted to the Premier League and he does start playing more games, there is sure to be interest from much bigger clubs, meaning his Football Index price will rise. If you need any more help, then contact me on Twitter or Facebook. Thanks for watching.